This video contains mature and disturbing content. Viewer discretion is advised. In this video, I want to talk about Dungeon to de Yadoya wo Yarou, which roughly translates to running an inn at the dungeon island. Or how the fan subs are calling it, let's run an inn at the dungeon island. The verb Yarou, well in the title Yarou, has a lot of different meanings, such as to do, perform, or run a business. So that's why I chose run, and most likely the fan subs too. The series is based on a novel by the same name, written by Bunzaburo Nagano. Once again, I'm going to focus on the basic aspects of the manga, although in this specific case, I do read the novel as well. They are released, I believe, every weekend, or at least in the translator that I read, every Saturday they upload it. So I might comment one thing or another about it. The manga is also written by Bunzaburo. However, it is run by Yuuki Shinichi. Yuuki also works on the art for a couple of other mangas, so you should check out the artist if you're interested. The novel is currently sitting on chapter 114. I believe today 116 pretty much, because I'm recording this on the same day that it's usually released. So I believe it's on 116 by this time. You can read the translated chapters at lankarjayatranslations.wordpress.com. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. The manga is currently on chapter 29, and I think the next volume is either being released or it's already in progress. And the chapters average in like 27 pages approximately. That's why it's an average, right? The manga began its run in 2020 and it's ongoing. The story begins as your almost typical isekai BS. Look, it's just that I'm tired, of isekai. Just saying. There are many, like there have been a lot of isekai lately, like a lot. Even though it's not a new genre, many of you might record. Well, I mean, if you don't remember it, but some of you might remember Ray Earth, which is basically isekai. Freaking Monster Ranger is kind of isekai, so seriously. But anyway, the main character Sanada Shiro gets transported to another world by a fish. Yes, a fish. And there, right off the bat, he's like sieged and made hostage by a small contingent of soldiers, female soldiers, which proceed to drag him to a prison and attempt to assault him. Yes, assault him in that way that you're thinking, in the God didn't made you for this kind of way. Or maybe he did, I don't know. And he's sort of saved by the bell when a higher ranking officer walks in on the women and orders them to leave the prison as they're gonna need it. They're going to use it to imprison another person. And that person happens to be none other than Princess Christia. During this chapter, which is basically like chapter 1 through 3. It's one of these. It's either chapter 1, 2, or 3. Tops. Same thing with the novel. Anyway, Christia explains that men are fragile in that world. And on top of that, they can't use magic. So, in a word with air quotes, very loose air quotes here, reversed societal stereotype, if you agree with or believe in any of that waste of time. So, it's a, again, air quotes, big air quotes, reversed sort of world, which kind of like women are strong, physically superior, etc., and men are fragile. But then again, it wouldn't be a, magical Bakayaru type of isekai if the main character didn't have any tricks up his sleeve, right? And yes, turns out that Shiro can use magic. He was granted creation magic by the fish that transported him. His magic allows him to create items, food, like a bunch of different things, even technology. At some point, the manga and the novel sort of hints that even technology from our world, with a certain timer, like a crafting game, you could say. However, if he has the materials, then the skill speeds up the process. Like the materials make it way quicker. And in the novel, like he's reached a point where he can even create a like golems that are basically drones, like modern day drones. Sorry, excuse me about that. I'm not making that up. Like in one of the latest chapters, he literally unlocked the spider drone, like a very small spider drone that has a camera and a microphone. And so pretty much he spends a couple of days with the princess in the prison cell, getting laid with her. Yes, yes he does. They break out of the prison with the combination of his creation magic and Christia's absurd offensive magic, and proceed to try and bail. Following the couple of next chapters, in short, Shiro decides to create an inn at an island that they find. Due to his creation magic and the fact that it seems like he can bring, again, technology from Earth, basically, and also his knowledge on cooking. So he thinks that would be the best idea. Kind of like a laid back setup, basically. I'm not gonna get too much into it anymore because that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And also, I decided to not mention most of the characters in the series because they come and go frequently, sort of like as they please. I mean, it's kind of cool in a way that they have their own reasons and they kind of make the world feel alive. But then again, it doesn't make any of them memorable per se. I only mentioned Christia because she literally appears by the end of the first chapter into the second and third chapter and so on during those first phases, and kind of gives you the background of the world that Shiro is in. If I had to guess, I'd say the manga is sort of halfway through the novel already, maybe a bit more. It's catching up, but then again, I think they're deliberately slowing it down to avoid that because the updates are very slow, and each chapter of the manga covers many chapters of the novel. I won't do any character dissection because, as mentioned, they come and go frequently, and Shiro doesn't have any exceptional features that makes him notable. What I could say is pretty much the background laid for pretty much every character. Basically, men are they're very air quotes shy and kind of they don't make that many appearances, and they're usually like they feel like background characters pretty much, while the girls are like they are always the one interacting and setting the story forward, making the story move forward. And the women, they are basically like all of them are basically almost all the same, as in they have an insane you know drive to do that thing. I don't want to say it because I don't know. I think nowadays you can't say things like that. I think it's a freaking sin. 1984 happening now, right now. But yeah, they have an insane urge for carnal desires per se, like almost every women that appeared in the manga, basically. And most of them, they either are extremely strong or just like average, just fall into background character material too. The only one I'm gonna mention is Cecily, which she's like a pirate because I really like her. I like her design, and she's kind of different. Like she respects Shiro a lot, Like she's very polite towards him, and she doesn't aggressively makes any moves towards him. So there's that. But the other ones, like it's pretty much the same. Um, Art style wise, once again, it relies on a very standard art style, nothing exceptional nor hideous. You mostly see a bunch of women with all sorts of varied bodies, faces, hairstyles for art. That's kind of pretty much it. Again, the pirate Cecily being my favorite, in my opinion. And my only recommendation within this regard, within this regarding art style, basically, is make sure you get the uncensored version. You know why. Uh, well, in conclusion, yet again, it falls into. It's fun if you caught up with every other thing you're reading, every other work you're following. If you know you're reading whatever it is, the current fad that people seem to absolutely go wild about, Goblin Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Kimetsu no Yaiba I can't say because it already ended like a long time ago. If you didn't know that, yeah, the manga, sorry, ended a long time ago. Anyway, but yeah, anything else that you're reading, like if you don't have anything else to read, if you're already caught up with them, then I definitely, then I think it's pretty cool. It's nothing amazing, but it's not a bummer either. It has some pretty cool moments, and the setup that the author creates seems pretty cool. For example, in the story, apparently the world is not only inhabited by humans, but you also have werewolves, spirits, among other fantastic beings. So yeah, it sounds interesting. If you caught up with everything else, then I'd suggest you can give it a try if you want. I hope you had a good week. I wish you a next amazing next week, and until next time.